It was the last weekend of October, the kind where the air feels thin and sharp, like it's warning you winter's not far. My friends and I, Mason, Kelly, and Drew, had run out of ways to kill time in our nowhere town. We were 17, restless, and desperate for a story that didn't end at the gas station parking lot. That's when Mason said, "What if we hit the old Wilson Orchard tonight?" It had been shut down for years after a storm flattened half the trees. Folks said the owner went missing that same winter. Of course, that made it irresistible. By the time we parked off the dirt road, fog was swallowing the headlights. The orchard stretched out in crooked rows, the trees bending like old men under the moon. We climbed the fence and started picking through the scattered apples, chuckles softly, laughing like idiots. For a while, it was perfect. Just the sound of knives carving into fruit, the crunch of leaves under boots. Then I noticed one of the scare props leaning between the rows. It was taller than the rest, wrapped in faded plaid, head slumped forward. When I looked back a few minutes later, it wasn't leaning anymore. It was standing straight. Kelly said, "Did that thing move?" Drew laughed it off, but his flashlight hand was shaking. We packed up fast after that. But halfway back to the fence, something brushed my leg. Not a branch, not wind. Something cold and deliberate. When I turned, that same scare thing was standing between the trees again, closer now. We didn't run. We bolted. The fog closed around us like a fist. Later, we swore we'd imagined it. Until the next morning when Drew texted me a photo he found on his phone. A picture of us in the orchard, taken from about 10 feet away. I've always loved Halloween. I'm 26 now, but my roommate Kyle and I still treat it like a sacred holiday. Fake cobwebs, blinking lights, stupid plastic ghosts. Our apartment turns into a discount haunted house every October. It was late, close to 3 a.m. when I woke up thirsty. The place was dark except for the orange glow of a streetlight bleeding through the blinds. As I stepped into the hall, I saw someone standing by the living room archway. Tall, still, wearing a smooth, featureless mask. I actually smiled. Kyle loved pranks. "Good one, man," I muttered. No response. Not even a twitch. I brushed past him, grabbed some water, and went back to bed. The next morning, he was already at work. When he got home, I told him that mask stunt was solid. He frowned. "What mask?" We went still at the same time. I described.